Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Today we're going to be reviewing Solution Finish Black Trim Restorer. So, Solution Finish, this is a black trim restorer for bumpers, plastics and trims and mudguards, etc. What do they say about this? It's a VOC compliant, so it's not any nasty, harmful substance. I think it's solvent free. Restores your black trim back to an OEM kind of matte finish as opposed to a satin or high gloss finish. It also removes oxidization and provides a UV protection top up, if you like. Product costs £15 for this 30ml bottle, which is quite small, or £40 for 340ml, I believe. So your price starts coming down when you buy more of it. Product claims 6 to 8 month durability on the restorative effect, and it advertises that as a kind of rich, matte OEM effect. So in other words, you're restoring primarily faded, greyed or oxidized plastics back to a more OEM type finish. So to apply this product, you simply make sure you clean and degrease the surface, the plastic that you're going to be restoring properly first. You know, if it's not your car and you're using this as a professional, there's a likelihood that that trim could have already been coated in a silicone-based product. This product needs to penetrate to work, so cleaning the component first is very important, making sure it's grease-free, dirt-free and product-free from any previous dressing. So a good degreaser top product will achieve that. You simply apply a little bit of this to a microfiber cloth or a microfiber applicator pad, and you do not need to use a lot of it, just like a dot, okay? And that dot, you can spread it and work it on that area till it stops. You've spread it so thinly you can't spread it anymore, and top up using small amounts at each point until you've covered all of that trim, you know, and you can see it all coated and it's level and even. Obviously, if you part of that process, if you get the product anywhere else, you know, on your paintwork or on your glass, just wipe it off, okay, and it comes off fine. You're not going to have any staining issues if you get a bit of it on clear coat. I spilt some of it when I was using it the other day on Reggie's car, and he was panicking. It just wiped straight off, so it's fine in that sense. Right, so that's all the blurb stuff done, the basic info that you'll probably get from most videos that are out there. And now we're going to go into what I really think about it, the good things and the things that products don't tell you about when you kind of read the description. So, you know, really going into it and seeing if there's any flaws with it. So the first thing, to test this, I used a heavily faded piece of plastic trim, and I'll overlay the shots of what it looked like before, what it looked like now. This is 2 months after application. Heavily faded grey plastic trim, which should be ideal. It's a scuttle panel, okay? You know, a bit below the windscreen wipers. So it should be absolutely ideal. Cleaned it down, applied it. It's a bit of a pain to apply it in there, so I had to use a microfiber cloth. Got it all over there, left it. And on the other side, I thought I'd test it up against one of the silicone-based kind of dressings, okay, Carpro Pearl, which has also got a good darkening effect. Part of the thing that Solution Finish talk about is that the chemistry of this product is different, okay? Different from normal dressings. So normal dressings penetrate less and leave a coating on the surface, whereas Solution Finish, you know, they say it sort of penetrates in there and gets deep in there, and it doesn't create like a barrier over the surface like the silicone dressings do, the higher gloss silicone dressings, but actually restores by penetrating. And then the chemistry beyond that, I don't know, because they don't go into that for obvious reasons. But it's chemically different to normal types of dressings. It's a more specialised restorative product. That's the first thing to understand. Now, going back to that point about it not putting a coating over the plastic, one of the advantages I noticed with this solution finish, I've had this and Carpro Pearl on this panel for about 2 months, sitting outside under a tree, getting rained on, getting sunshine on, getting a bit of debris on it, you know, which is adequate enough an environment for me to see how it fares. The first thing is, whenever it rained and this piece of trim got wet, I could see a difference that the water would sit on top of the silicone-based dressing and eventually eventually dry and leave water spots on this side more. So I could notice the traditional type of dressing was more prone to water spotting. The side with the solution finish, the water wouldn't sort of sit on top of it more. I think, you know, if there's pores in this plastic and it's open, then the water probably just gets absorbed into it as well, I don't know. But definitely less water spotting. So that was one advantage that I hadn't heard them talk about. It seemed, you know, better on that front. Although with these bits of plastic, most of them are vertical, so it's not that major a boost, but it's still a thumbs up and a plus. And I'll overlay the shots of what I'm talking about so you can see those water spots on one side and not on the other. The next thing, the finish, it is a non-gloss OEM rich matte finish, okay? The product works, so you can have a knackered bit of faded trim, apply the product and it looks much better, okay? Pretty impressive, the restorative effect, so that works. The product delivers. It's not some JML budget thing that doesn't work and is all blurb and no performance. It restores plastic, it holds on to that colour. It does soak in and penetrate, so everything they tell you about the product seems to be true. I want to talk about some of the negatives of this product first of all, okay, because there tends to be negatives or things that you're not told with most products. So the thing is, on this plastic piece of trim that's been out there for 2 months, it's at the stage now where I need to apply the dressing again. So it hasn't lasted six to 8 months for me, okay? From using this product before, when you put on the second coat, you get a lot more durability out of it for some reason. It's probably something to do with the fact it penetrates, you're building up the product inside the plastic or whatever. I don't understand the chemistry, but I can definitely tell you a second coat will last a lot longer than the first. This is still going as well, which is important for me to say. This hasn't gone completely, but it's just at the point where this particular corner now has come back grey. Still nice and dark around here. In the fins it's still dark where I was putting quite a lot of the product with the microfiber, but along here it's going grey. So it's at the point where I'd want to be reapplying after 2 months. So that's a negative because it hasn't done 6 to 8 months. The next negative is the price, okay? Over here in the UK, I think you pay 15 quid for this kind of like hobbit-sized 1 fluid ounce or 30 millilitres of product. Now, the counter argument is you don't need to use a lot of this, so this is going to last you a long time. Well, this is probably going to last you about 7 to 10 cars, you know, depending on how much trim you're covering and how much you use. You do not need to use a lot, as they say, but you will still get through 30 millilitres of product quite quickly. And sorry, 15 quid for a small little bit of liquid product is a lot of money. There's no way of saying that politely or beating around the bush, so it is. 340 millilitres for 40 quid, you're starting to get better value for money, but there's a lot of detailing products for various different functions out there that you've got to go and buy and maintain and top up. I'll always wince if I have to go and pay 40 quid for one of those for a bottle that's going to be about this big. So the product is pretty expensive over here in the UK. I'm guessing it's a lot cheaper in America. You Americans do not put up with things being too expensive, like your petrol and all your food and stuff like that. So in the UK we get hit for higher prices for everything, unfortunately, or most things. So I think the product cost is a little bit on the high side for me. I talked about the counter argument of saying you don't need to use much. Well, the product I was pitching it up against, Carpro Pearl, which is a tough product to beat in terms of darkening effect and restorative effect on this plastic trim, so I wanted to put it up against the best. I get a litre of this for the same amount of money, and I also don't use much of this product. I use this exactly the same way as I do the solution finish. Put a little dot on the microfiber, you know, squirt it on a little bit and spread it till I can't spread it anymore. and I use hardly any of this as well. So it's all going to come down to, is the performance of this good enough to justify the significant price increase over traditional style dressing products? And I'm going to attempt to answer that. I think the answer is, if you've got seriously faded trim on your car and it's really bugging you and you want the most suitable product for it that's going to perform the best, then the chemistry of Solution Finish, the fact that it isn't a dressing, it's not sitting there, it won't create a film, you know, a few months later when it dries like some of the other ones can. It won't leave the water spotting, and the darkening effect is really good and lasts a little bit longer than this. And the fact the second coat really turbocharges the durability, that creates an argument for why this product is definitely viable even at the high cost. So I'm pretty confident I don't need to rab it on anymore now. I like Solution Finish, it's a really good product. It is simple, it just works. It works as they say it's going to work. You don't need to use a lot of it. The only negative being that it is slightly expensive. So I hope that reads as a fair review. You know, I don't want to slate things for a reason. If there's a criticism, I want it to be valid. But as with all my videos, I know other people use this, a lot of professionals use this. Let me know your opinion on it, how you think it holds up to sort of the dressing styles, or if there's any other kind of restorative, specific, specialised products that you think are also, you know, pretty decent as well. But Solution Finish, recommended, good product. Thank you very much for watching. Bye now.